This episode, we are full on spoilers for both the books and the show.
Hi,
Hey.
I'm Mitch.
And I'm the Geeky Hippie. Welcome back to WtA Adaptation, the YouTube show that reviews adaptations from one format to another. This week, we're continuing with The Expanse. We have a guest, though. Beth, how you doing? Everybody, this is Beth.
Well, hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I think everybody watching probably already knows who you are, but do you want to give us a brief, what you do online and YouTube and stuff like that?
Sure. Hi, I'm Beth Domon, and I am a huge fan of the Wheel of Time book series and have been for over 30 years at this point, and came across the community a couple years ago, just before the first season of the show came out, and ever since then I've kind of fully invested myself into the online world of it. I also have a Twitch channel where I stream video games 3 to 4, sometimes 5 nights a week, and you can find me back there. That's my Twitch logo, Beth Domon, back there. And I also have a YouTube channel where I do some reaction videos to TV shows. And yeah, so hi, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Thanks for joining. Glad to have you on. I've been looking forward to this as soon as I found out you were a fan of The Expanse. And just really happy. Thank you, Leia, for letting us know.
Yes, thank
Mitch,
you,
how you doing
Leia.
tonight?
I love you.
We all love Leia. How you doing tonight, Mitch?
Doing well.
That's good to hear. So we're discussing episode 309, Intransigence, directed by David Grossman, written by Hallie Lambert. I'm not going to try to break it down like Max does, so let's just jump right in. What does everybody think of this episode? We were talking a little bit. I heard somebody liked this episode a lot.
I really enjoyed it. It's
Okay.
It takes us to the next level, and in itself, it's got so much going for it. It's just a fun episode. A couple of absolutely classic bits in this one as well. So I'm looking forward to talking about it.
Beth?
Yeah, I also really enjoyed this episode. It's definitely, I wouldn't call it a filler episode, but it's a transitional episode that kind of leads up into the arc of the last couple of, episodes of the season. And I think it does a great job kind of tying the middle of the road storyline into the ending. So, and there's a couple of, like what Mitch said, a couple really big moments that like get you going and get you amped up to get into that last stretch for the season to be over.
Right.
So yeah.
I had fun with it. I've been noted for mentioning that season 4 is my least favorite season. This is my second to least favorite season, but that doesn't mean I dislike the season. Okay. I feel that my favorite book in the series, Abaddon's Gate, didn't get its due. They only got 7 episodes for this book. So we don't have time for filler episodes. So it's a good thing that they managed to move pieces around on the board while making stuff happen, so they were able to do, several, both at the same time, to keep it from being a filler episode. So I really like that. So let's start in, Mitch, what are some changes that they made that you liked or disliked? And
There's a few things that they've done here that I really appreciated. For example, in the book, the chapters associated with this time frame in the show are very Melba heavy. You get a lot of her background information, her motivations, and it's spelled out so beautifully in the books. And you can't really translate it to the show. But what they did instead was they gave us flashbacks to her and her father and her sister. And it doesn't fill in those gaps that we find or that are, explained in the book, but it fills in gaps we didn't know existed. So I thought that was nicely done. I really appreciate that. So that's one of the big changes that they made. I enjoyed.
I really like that too. Beth?
I really like how they streamlined multiple characters into important figureheads that we have in the show. We talked about it a little bit before the show started. Taking the characters of Bull and Michio Pa, and Kamina Drummer is a very minor character in the books, and just kind of like making her an amalgamation of both of those, as well as and I can never remember his name because I want to say Anderson Dawes, but it's not.
Fred Johnson.
Fred Johnson.
No. The
Clace
her
Ashford.
second in command. Thank you, Ashford. I always want to call Anderson Ashford, and it drives me absolutely bonkers. But I love the actor who plays him. I love their relationship as it gets built throughout this entire season, not just this episode. I think is amazing. I love the chemistry that Karagi has with him, and I love Kamina Drummer. Kamina Drummer is my favorite character in the entire series across all seasons.
Nice.
So for me,
I can understand.
So for me, this episode is really special because this is when I see Kamina Drummer become Kamina Drummer, like in full force in this episode. So that's what I really love, the adaptation of this character specifically.
Yeah, as I remember, there was some talk about the fact that the producers and directors were so thrilled with her presence for the few bits that she was on in season 2, that a lot of the writing, it helped them decide on how to morph Bull and
Michio Pa.
Michio Pa, thank you. How to morph them more into her character. And that's simply because she impressed them so much as an actress.
She's amazing. She's amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting bit that they actually modified some of what they may have been planning. I don't know how far out they planned, but in season 3, they actually drew upon that character she'd started because they were so impressed by her.
She's awesome. I've been a big fan. Beth and I mentioned it. One of us mentioned it on Discord earlier today. We both agree on Kara G as Aegean and
oh my God, I would literally die. I would literally.
I thought I came up with that idea, but apparently
I have been talking about it for years. For years, I have put it out there 11 million times.
Maybe I got the idea from you, but I like the idea.
God, yes.
The one casting choice that I really have to see, or I will be disappointed, is Bruce Campbell needs to play Valen Luca.
Please. Oh my God, I would be here for it. I would. Oh my God, that would be amazing. That would be so great. That would be so great. Yes, let's do it.
Changes. I like Mitch. I really like the change. Seeing the flashbacks to the family, seeing the sibling dynamic and the father-daughter dynamics of with his 2 daughters. I recognize that fight. I think if not, if with my parent and me and my sibling, or at somebody's house when their siblings got into a similar shouting match with a parent, I've seen that fight happen, and I'm like, I understand both sides of it. Both of them just, but I really liked all that. It was a lot better than what you get in the book at about this point, which is her exhuming Ren from her locker. Which,
oh God, yes, I just listened to that.
Every time I've gotten to that in my incessant re-listens to these 5 chapters, it seems that I'm eating, or in the process of making food. So,
oh no!
Hey there, Morshadi, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, it's literally. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, one other thing about Melba here too is that you get within the flashbacks, you get to see that relationship that that exists between her and Tilly, and something that is explained in a bit more depth in the books. But it's good to see that they introduce that there as well, so that we know that Melba has that extra level of concern about being found out.
Right. And they aged Tilly down in the book. I mean, in the TV show, because in the books, she said that she dandled those girls on her
Yeah.
knee when they were, children. So they made, which I think is good because they kind of turned it into a more of a friendship type of, or not a friendship, but what's the word I'm looking for? Peer group kind of thing.
A peer instead
Yeah.
of an aunt.
Yeah. So I think
I
that
just-
makes sense.
I'm puzzled with the changes. I'm not complaining. It's just puzzlement with the changes they made with Tilly, because she went from being really really wealthy because of who she's married to she's really wealthy because of who her mom is. And she was, it was her husband that got her on this ship. Why did they make the change? What was the point of the change that I can't see? Changing her to a young aging debutante that, why did they make the changes? What I'm puzzled at.
I think it's a
I
truly
don't
visual
mind
thing to show the
changes.
difference. Sorry.
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
going to say it's a visual
I
thing
don't
to show the
mind
differences
changes.
between Melba, as Melba is right now, and one of her peers.
Yeah.
I think it's a visual
Okay.
thing because Clarissa Mao is no longer Clarissa Mao. Clarissa Mao is now Melba Coe, and she's a worker. She's in a uniform. She looks very basic. And even as Tilly, as all this stuff is happening, she's always looking to the nines, right? She's always done right. And I think it's
Yeah.
for that visual difference between what Melba was or what Clarissa was and who Melba is. I think it's purely visual for that reason.
Well, I think it may also help with the establishment of the friendship between her and Anna. They're more of an age as opposed to Tilly being her senior dramatically.
Okay.
So
That
I
too.
think
Yeah.
that might be part of it.
No, Anna's. I don't know how old Anna's supposed to be. I know how old Elizabeth Mitchell is, but she's like 5 years older than me. So, all right.
I've
Do I
got-
have another one?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I have some, pardon me, some minor ones I can bring up. The whole thing about Holden going to the station in the middle of the ring space. In the books, he believes that he's doing it because he's been led to do that through the circumstances that got them inside the ring. And I'm fine with that, with the exception in that had they not been quite so quick to get to the ring, he would have been dead. So his motivation for circumstances is leading me to the station kind of falls short there. Versus in the show, Miller is the motivation for him to go. Miller tells him, "You got to go, got to go, got to go." In the story,
Yeah.
of course, Miller doesn't appear until Holden's already on or in the station, actually. So
I found that really weird, that line there when he shows up after not being there for so long, and he's like, "Come on, let's go. Why'd you slow down? We got to hurry up. We got to go. Like you're pointing out." And I'm like, but wait, I still hear him saying doors and corners, and he does doors and corners on the show, Yeah, they don't go into it nearly as much as the book does, but I mean, it's there on the show, and here he is. Why'd you come in so slow? It's like the exact opposite, and I was like, what? Wait a second, that confused me for first time I saw that.
And these are all small things. Yeah, these are all small things.
Mac, you saw the thing Max gave me to put up. Glenn pedantism. The alert that I had on the ticker. I'm known for being pedantic sometimes when I have complaints about changes. It's like I actually did complain about the appearance of Matt's dagger when we first got to see that years ago. when the dagger first came out, the first images.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. All right. Did you have any more changes you want to bring up, Beth?
As I said, the small stuff.
I think one of the other bigger changes that they made was they removed Naomi from the Rocinante, right? Like she had kind of like
Yeah.
she felt she had to go back and help the Belters after the end of season 2 of the show, right? She was, or it might have been actually midway through season 3, right? When she left and she's like,
Yeah.
I
2
have to go with
episodes.
them. It was after they decided to turn to salvage the Novu into the behemoth, right? She was like, I have to go help them. And so that was a pretty big departure. I like it though, because it helps set that friendship that she has with Kamina Drummer. Again, it's totally
Yeah.
for having that
Yep.
Belter thing, because when without going too far ahead in the series, she ends up having this major, you know, thing happening to her, and Drummer's there for her for all of that. And so
Right.
that leads to the backstory of, Drummer's own interactions with Marco and Naros is largely based on her friendship that she develops with Kamina Drummer. So I think it was important. I really liked it. I loved the tension, like when she's making the decision in this episode that she's going to go back to the Rosie when she's at the airlock, and Drummer comes up and it had been locked, and she's like, were you even going to tell me? And that was to me, I loved that scene. And
That was a good scene.
I love I forgot the name of the actress who plays
Dominique
yes
Tipper.
I just love her. I love her. I think she's fantastic. And so anything that I can see with her, but I did like it though. It didn't take away from, even though it was very different from the book, it didn't take away from it at all for me.
Right.
Actually, I think it added a lot because
Yeah.
what Naomi does in the book during this particular time frame, she's sitting on the Rossi, unable to solve a problem, and that's all she really does. So
True.
they gave the character a lot more to work with, which I think is a great thing to do. Number one, if you're doing an adaptation, and number two, they did it right, as you said.
Yep. Agree 100%.
Definitely. Yeah, I like that they have that strong relationship between the two of them. It just sometimes I wonder if it was developed enough on screen over the previous, 10, 15 episodes, since the first time they met. I don't know. I sound like I'm complaining. It's to me, I always felt, when I first saw this episode, my reaction to that scene, with this stronger friendship was the same reaction I had when it becomes apparent that Lan and Nynaeve are together. It's that little bit of line at the end of the book. Wait, what? Wait, when did that happen? Which one of my things I love about the show is they've made it realistic, make it believable.
Sure.
But Jordan, he wrote it, and it just one moment, no, the next moment,
Right.
okay.
I will hate the man. I will love the man who loves you, but I will hate him because
right. And it's like, wait, where did that come from?
Exactly right.
So
right.
I feel the same about this deep friendship between Naomi and Drummer.
And
I don't dislike it. I really like the friendship on the show. I really do.
And the first time that we see them together too in the show, it's basically Drummer asking Naomi if she wants to put the ball to the wall. So they already have this relationship that we're coming in on that already exists, and it builds from there. So
we've talked
it's
about
very believable.
We've talked about how the show is so far leaving Bull out of it. But can we say anybody else miss Sam?
Oh my God, yes. I
love Sam.
And they've kind of made Naomi Sam for the purposes of the show, right?
Yeah. And also Drummer with Sam's relationship with Naomi. Drummer's got Sam's relationship. So Drummer is Bull, Michiopa, and Sam. And Kamina Drummer,
right?
And that's just it. And you know what? It works. It works.
Yep. 100% agree.
But yeah, I really wanted Sam I was like, wait, I never saw Sam on the show and read the books, and I'm like, oh, Sam's awesome. Wait, they didn't have her in the show. Damn it. So yeah, I've known a couple of people who could have played Sam.
But if you're gonna remove a character for to cut down storylines and keep and avoid confusion and stuff like that, or crossing over of common themes, they did it right. That's the thing. Like, they did it right. They did a great job creating a unique character, bringing together multiple different backgrounds into one person for the screen. I think they did a really good job with that. So,
and we don't see much of this character, but one that they created for the show, Diogo. Oh, great character.
He's such a little jerk.
He's in Leviathan Wakes. He's in Leviathan Wakes.
Yes, he is. He's such a little...
He's in the drop ship with Miller, the ship that attacks Toss Station.
But it's not the character that WtA have here. Yeah.
Right. They've boosted him big. That's Jen's favorite character on the show.
He's such a little... I want to drop a cuss word, but I don't know how you guys feel about that. Oh,
the only things you can't say are the curse words you're using C. Describe body parts.
Oh,
no C body parts.
So Diogo is a little shit, and I love him for it. Like, I literally love him for it. He is... anyway, so
I would like to just drop an elevator on him or something. I
mean, who would ever think of doing that? Oh my gosh!
Right? Yeah. See, I had a feeling some spoilers for this season were coming in a few minutes. I was going to say something, and now I don't remember what, but I know it was a spoiler. So
what spoiler? Okay. Getting back to the little things, the reason Monica and Cohen leave the ship is because Amos boots them off rather than being invited off by Bull when he talks to Naomi. So there's that, and then it doesn't really matter. But the order in which the non-Rossi ships enter the ring space. You have the Martians come in first, and the Jensen?
The Jensen?
Shenzhen.
Oh, the Shenzhen. What was the name of the ship that got bombed?
The
something.
The other one.
The Sangoon, right? The Sangoon.
Sangoon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
they just can't call him the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. It would just take too easy.
That shot when the Shenzhen came through the ring, into the ring space. I swear they stole that shot from Babylon 5, except in Babylon 5, instead of a ring that it was coming through, it was a big old explosion, fireball, where another ship had just been blown to smithereens. This other ship, this big capital ship, comes plowing right through the flames, exactly like that. It was badass, but I gotta ask a question. I didn't take a shot of it, so I couldn't show it, but who's got all those little ships that are flying around the BMF as it goes through the gate, the ring?
I think those are OPA ships.
A dozen.
Yeah.
Those are other OPA ships?
I think those are all OPA ships that are attached to the Behemoth.
Okay. So, because I was like, it was almost like it looked like an image of a shark flying through the water, or swimming through the water with pilot fish and remora, or whatever, eating on them and everything, just flying with them. I'm like,
I think that was probably the Belter ships, OPA ships. Yeah.
See, I don't remember it ever being mentioned that there were other OPA ships. That's why I was wondering. I don't remember other OPA ships being mentioned, show or book.
Yeah, nothing mentioned in the books. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. More adventures. Can we move to the next category?
I don't know whether to put this in the favorite. Well, it's not a favorite scene, but it is an overall thing. The use of religion between the show and the books. In the books, we have, we're introduced to certain religious characters. You have the fact that Anna conducts a ceremony, which she also does in the show for a different reason. But in in the series, the emphasis on the religious ideas behind the ring, the expectations, the potential controversies, and what's going to do to religion comes out much stronger than it does in the books. Also, at the end of this particular episode, after having heard Dr. Hector Cortez expound in front of his flock of fellow people or fellow religious people about how great this is and what we can learn in all this, when it comes down to actually entering the ring, he's scared to death and
absolutely frightened. He's like, I'm not staying here. He's like,
and it's a matter of religion is good up to a point where you actually have to face your devil, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's kind of the take I got from this. I don't know if that's what they were trying to say, but I thought it just showed some of the it's the wrong word, but I'll say it. It's the immorality of religion. That's not what I really mean to say, but I think they're saying something there that never really comes out in the books. So I just wanted to point that out.
Do you have something, Beth, to that?
As a person who has personally deconstructed Christianity because I was a member of a cult in my early 20s, the religious conversations that happen in the series as a whole, I find fascinating. And I love Anna's take on religion and the human condition. And is it this episode where the officer takes his own life, or is that that's the next episode, right?
I think it's next week.
Okay. So I think the show does a pretty good job of conveying the human condition and questioning your existence. Like, if you believe in God and you are a follower of Christ or Buddhism or whatever, and all of a sudden your entire what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah,
it just gets the tenets of everything that you ever believe in just kind of get knocked off kilter. How do you maintain your faith? And I think that's what we saw with the breakdown of the conversation that you were just talking about, is that this person's faith has been absolutely rattled because now everything that they ever thought they believed, we're in the stars now, but we're still just humans. We're still just humans. And now you've got the protomolecule and you've got this big, huge ring and this mystery and this what's beyond it, what's going to happen if we go through it. The real test of faith is who is faithful. And Anna, even though she's a little misguided, she's still faithful. She wants to see what's out there. She wants to know. And I think it's a good not dichotomy is not the word I'm looking for, but a good comparison between a person who believes in faith but is also intellectual, because that's how I picture myself. I'm an intellectual who believes in faith, and you don't always have to have a rational explanation for it. You know what I mean? That's what faith is having a belief that something's going to happen, whether you have faith in yourself or faith in someone else or a higher power or whatever. I thought it was pretty well done in the show, but I love the overtones of how religion is discussed in the books in general, because it's not really taking a stab at religion, but it's showing that religion is it's not infallible, if that makes sense.
No. Yeah. I think the book is actually friendlier towards religion than the show is.
Yeah.
The show is not, I wouldn't say the show is, I wouldn't call the show exactly hostile towards religion. There have been a couple characters that made some scathing remarks, but they were brushed off as being assholes in one way or another. Like Aaron Wright made a comment to Anna, and she's like, that's what non-believers, say. And, he tried playing, oh, no, I'm being sincere. But I mean, it's Aaron, right? When he's saying he's being sincere, he's full of shit.
Right.
Um,
And I know that it's not specific to this episode, but I do want to say just in general, I love that that's how they brought Anna into the show. I love with her prior relationship with the Secretary General.
Mhm.
I love that. I thought it was great as a lead-in instead of just inventing her or introducing her as a brand new character in the back half of the season. I really liked how they wrote her in that way, even though that's not how we meet her in the book. Yeah, sorry, just wanted to interject that.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Yep.
It makes sense to having her fill the role of who I believe in the book is Hector. Or Cortez, something like that. Reverend Dr. Hector Cortez. Is he the one that's the close to the?
Oh my God! There's two people with names. There's two people with names.
There's the super church guy, the mega church guy who gets money from Tilly and her family.
Yes.
And he's the one who's close to the Secretary General. And then there's the other guy who's, I believe, a Roman Catholic, but see,
Oscar. Is his name Oscar?
So that's not. No, I don't know.
Well,
I can't remember.
Yeah, in the show they conflated the two because
Cortez. But see, and Anna still also has some of his stuff because the reason why I put the spoiler up there is so I can refer to the mutiny that we don't really get on the show. I love the mutiny storyline, and it's really abortive. It really doesn't even feel like a mutiny on the show. But the role that certain characters had has been, that because they're not needed for that, you could get rid of them. Like that priest, the preacher guy with the big mega church. We don't need him. So anything that he did do, they could easily give to Anna. And that's why they made her the close friend, or somebody handpicked by the Secretary General.
Right.
So
which makes sense.
It was all because they got rid of, Cortez or whatever his name is. He has his breakdown here on the show, but in the books he has it on the other side of the gate after the catastrophe.
Right.
And that's when he breaks down. And it's just, I really wish we'd gotten to see the mutiny. It was so much fun in the book. It would have just been so much fun on the show. But all right, are we moving on to the next question? Favorite scene. I want to throw out a favorite beat. It's not a favorite scene, but there's that moment Alex is at the door to Holden's quarters and he's like, Holden, Captain, and he's all nervous and he's about to knock. Holden opens the door, just sits there staring at him. And Alex is like, so he's like trying to look, no Miller?
No Miller.
And then he slams the shut. And it's just like I get a chuckle every time I watch that scene.
Yeah.
I was watching it the last watch through. I was watching it 1.5 speed. I slowed it back down to normal speed just for that scene. So
nice.
I just wanted to throw that out there real quick as a beat. But
I have that on. That's on my list.
Okay, Beth, you got a scene?
Oh my God, yes.
Some lines?
Oh my God, yes.
Let's hear it.
Kamina Drummer's speech to the Beltalowda. Oh my God. This was when Kamina Drummer became Kamina Drummer and the pounding in the background. And it was like so resonating. Like I get teary-eyed just thinking about it. Like seriously. And I had subtitles on. That's why it's on there. She's like, she's like, and she's speaking Belter, like she's speaking Belter so that we can understand her speaking Belter, but she's like in a Loda, and Beltalowda and all. It's so good. And Cara Gee is perfection in this role. Like I can't even stand it. Her presence, she's so petite and small, but her presence is so
she's a giant.
Freaking commanding. And she is like, we are Belters. We are not going to let the inners tell us what to do and take this place from us. A Belter started all this. We're going to take our rightful place. We deserve a place at this table. We deserve it. This is ours to claim. And they did it. And it was just the whole scene. It's like 2.5 minute speech. Chef's kiss. That's absolutely hands down my favorite part of this entire episode.
Yeah. And she is so compelling. I mean, the way she wears her makeup, number one.
Everything about her is amazing.
She looks so extreme.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, there's nothing soft.
There's
in her
nothing soft
face.
about her.
And
Nothing soft
she-
until you get to know her as a person.
Right.
Until you get to know her intimately. And then you realize that she's got a heart of gold as well. Like she'll do whatever it takes for the people that she cares about. And that's just, that's what makes her even better as a character, in my opinion.
Yep.
I understand Karagi. I've heard it pronounced both ways, and then he's introducing her.
It could be G. I said Karagi, but it could
I don't
be G.
know.
I have no idea.
Like I said, I've heard it pronounced both ways. But from what I understand, she created her own accent for the role too. She created that. She didn't work with the linguist type people that were helping everybody else with the dialect coaches. Yeah, she created her own.
Nice.
I like it. Did you want to go next, Mitch?
Yeah. I've got a few things here. A really good moment between Anna and Tilly is when Tilly has told her that she's going to be going through the ring space, and Anna can go through too if she wants. Mm-hmm. And she's getting back to the religious thing. It's almost like Tilly is trying to entice Anna with the apple. It's just, I think it's beautiful at that point, because Anna's going on about the fact that, there's never a miracle in her life, or this is the first miracle that she's come across. And Tilly is just sort of dangling, the apple from the Garden of Eden in front of her, saying, I can get you in the ring. And Anna takes it. Which is interesting when you think about what she does later.
I got to ask real quick. I meant to ask earlier, would you guys go through the ring? At this moment, would you want to stay on the Edward Prince and go through the ring? You don't know the catastrophe is going to happen. At this point,
I would be scared to death, but I think
be like,
for me right now, my age, I have nothing to lose. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the kind of person that says I'm going to take myself out in the apocalypse. Like, I don't want to live through the apocalypse. I'd rather be one of the people who die, because I don't want to. But this doesn't mean I don't think I'm going to. This is not the apocalypse happening, right? There's not zombies outside my house that might eat my brains. This is going through to the next level of existence, possibly. So I would probably be in the line to go. Being who I am now, my children are grown. Yeah, I'd probably go as a 50-year-old woman. I would probably go.
I would any age that I've been, or in the future, I would go at any age through that ring in a heartbeat, without even thinking about it. If I had the access to get out there, I would definitely be out there. Hey, Ashton Cross, the voice of warning. How you doing, Ashton Crow? Good to see you stopping in.
I won't guarantee that my pants would be dry, though.
And Noman Garden says, go through. Anything has to be better than this place. Yeah, I feel you. I understand.
Fair.
I gotta get out of this place if it's the last thing I ever do.
After that, did you have any more? I got a couple more that I wanted to bring up. A couple lines of dialogue and a scene.
Not really. I really, you know what though? I really did enjoy how, with the change of Naomi not being on the Rocinante, I loved how when the epiphany came on to Amos is a man of black and white. Like literally, like, and he's just like, he is probably the friendliest sociopath that I've ever seen in my life. Like, he's like, this is the way it's going to be. And
you do know what his nickname on set was?
What?
Murder Snuggles.
I love it. I'm here for it. Wes
Murder
Carver could
snuggles.
snuggle me all day long. He could snuggle me whenever he wants because hello, nurse. But anyway, that being said, I just love how once the revelation came on him, he just went straight for the throat, literally straight for the throat of the cameraman and Monica. He was like, it was one of y'all. And Monica's reaction when she found out it was her cameraman was great. I love that whole scene.
Us killed.
Yes, I love that whole scene, that whole breakdown, because that's one thing about Amos is it's family, right? It's like it's family is everything, and the Rosie is the house, and the people in the Rosie are the family, and they invited these guests into the house, and they've created all this havoc. I love it. That I thought that was a great scene.
The scene that I really liked for the episode, it's just there was something about it. It's Anna and Tilly on the observation deck discussing why they want to go through the ring. You know, each one, and I love that line. You know, if I said I was called, oh no, that would be stretching it, pushing it. You know, I was just like that was a nice little beat. But I was impressed at Thomas Jane delivering some gobbledygook as well as he did. Oh, so you want to talk about the non-local quantum hologram, the phase conjugate adaptive waves resonating in microtubules in the brain, which of course requires some closed timeline curves and Lorentzian manifold. And you catch up, I'll wait.
The greatest superhuman computer ever is the brain, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only practiced that 3 times today, so I hope I got that out right.
No, it came out good.
It's not easy. It's not easy given, you know, technobabble if you're not practiced with it.
You know, the other thing that I wanted to bring up about like the whole Anna thing, right, is I think she did a great job of conveying the combination of eagerness and nervousness and selfishness, because she knows that by going through the ring, she might not see Nona and Nami again, right? Is that their names, Nona and Nami?
Yeah.
She might not. Nono and Nami. She might not see them again, right? Like, and so, but that fear of not seeing them again is not enough to deter her from experiencing it. Yeah. So is that her faith, or is that her greed?
You know,
or curiosity, or a combination of all of it? It's probably a combination of all of it, because again, one thing that this show does amazingly is diving into the human condition and diving into regular people in extra regular or irregular circumstances, right? And very realistic responses to how you would handle something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, you know, I'll tell you, really realistic responses in the way people react to certain characters over the next couple of seasons.
Facts.
I think some of the most visceral hatred I've ever felt towards a character on TV
are you talking
is
about
season 5 and season 6.
And Philip?
But you know who I hate
Philip,
even more than him?
Philip, but...
You know who I really want to smack even more is Adolphus McMurtry.
Oh my God! Season 4, episode 4. I mean, season 4. Murtry, the security chief.
Yes,
he can kiss my
in the book. Oh my God, he just drives me nuts. But watching Bern Gorman play him on on screen, I'm just like, I need to strangle him.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I've got another favorite scene with Alex.
Go ahead.
When Holden is down in his room, and Alex sees the Martian ship come in, and it launches a couple of probes, and one of them hits the sidewall of the ring space and disappears. And he calls down to Holden, and Holden says, "Well, better stay away from it." Alex comes back with good safety tip. Now,
Yeah.
it's not the first time they've used the line, and I think they use it a couple more times in the rest of the series. So I don't think it's a one-off. I believe this is a sort of a recurring little joke, perhaps.
I'll have to pay attention to that.
Yeah. I mean, it also comes out with the don't cross the streams. Good safety tip.
Yeah. All right. So, how did the quality of the cinematography and effects and all the technical production stuff, how was it? And did it affect your viewing pleasure? I'll just write out, I didn't notice any special effects that were wonky at any point. So, and the music I didn't notice, which is usually what you want it to be. And so I have no complaints or anything in particular that's really awesome looking, except for that shot of the Shusen coming to the ring. That was just a badass shot. But
there was the shot where they sent the probe in, when they sent the probe in and then they pulled the probe back out. That was pretty cool as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was something. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, I've always thought that the production value was pretty good because the thing I really like about it is that there's like a hodgepodge of old meets new, right? Like when you're inside a Belter ship, it looks like a bunch of random parts that have been pieced together to make do, right? To like, they're scrappy. They make do. Exactly. So I think that all, like, if you look inside the behemoth, right, it used to be like this, you see these hints of what used to be magnificence with the murals on the walls and stuff like that. But then you've got all of the circuitry all over and so I think they just always do such a really good job with that. And I'm not one to talk about special effects because I think anything, like, you can turn a flashlight on in a dark room and film it and make it look awesome and I'm happy. So like that's I'm not super critical. I don't think anything's cheesy. Like I think there's some things that, some shows are deliberately cheesy, like Doctor Who is deliberately cheesy with its sci-fi kind of stuff. But I think the stuff that you're seeing here is as realistic as you could expect it to be in space, I guess you could say. I think they stick pretty close to the descriptions of things in the books as well. I think, like, describing the Rocinante, I think that's probably what you're getting or pretty close to it. And the Edward Prince is a military vessel. So when you're in it, even though there's a bunch of civilians running around and kind of like as guests, you still get the presence that you're on a military. It's very stark, it's very orderly. So I mean, personally, I think it's great. I think they did a good job.
The only complaint it's real quick, the only thing I could possibly complain about, and it's because most CG doesn't always get it right, is a sense of scale. That ring gate is 1,000 kilometers across. Mm-hmm. The behemoth is 2 kilometers long. So that's 500 behemoths across, and it looks a little bit too big going through. And so some of the last episode, there was a probe flying through before it was activated, turned on, and I think the probe looked like the size of a big ship, compared to the ring itself. So scale is about the only thing, and that's why I put the alert on.
That makes sense. And when you think about it, when you get that into that level of detail, then I can definitely agree with that stance.
I have a friend who their biggest complaint about it's a very similar complaint that with the Transformer movies. I've heard a lot of people say that there's no consistency in scale. What were you going to throw out, Mitch?
Okay. The opening and closing theme song for The Expanse. Typically, you don't hear it in the show itself, and I'll have to pay closer attention. But it occurred at a seminal moment in this particular show. So I need to keep an ear out for that, because generally you don't hear the actual theme song itself. And that seminal moment has escaped me at the moment because I meant to write it down and didn't. But I
hate when that happens.
Yeah. But the theme song itself, it actually was a slight variation of the theme. I don't remember actually hearing it inside the show itself. So
Now
there
I'm
was,
humming the theme song in my head. Thank you so
yeah.
much.
So
you.
there's that. I generally agree. Sets and all that, they've just done a bang up job. The special effects generally they do a bang up job. I wish I wish we could see more of it as much as we see, because it's just so beautiful, particularly the sets. As you were saying, Beth, the you look at the ships themselves. They're gorgeous inside. The Martian ships are very stark, and the Earth ships we don't see a lot of. I mean, we do see the Edward Prince in this particular episode, and last episode as well in the next few. But it's far more open too than the Martian ships are. And I'm wondering if that comes from the fact that on Earth, you're living in an open space, and even on Mars, you're living in caves, tunnels,
even the
enclosed
Naboo.
spaces. So I'm wondering if they put any kind of thought as far as the type of people populating the ships, where they came from, the environments they came from. I don't know.
That's probably going to explain why the bridge of the Naboo / Behemoth is so wide open like that, is because it was going to be a bunch of Mormons from Earth, going on, and they're used to, if that's the sense you're going, if that's where they got it, this whole idea of why they would have the open space, that would make total sense right there.
Yeah. And it is a lot of wasted space too. So, I mean, it's the open space is there for a reason.
Yeah.
Right.
The equivalent open space you see in later seasons on a Mars ship, when you see the bridge or CIC of a Mars ship, it's open, but in the middle, there's a lot more stuff going on, and it's a lot more crowded in there. So, let's see. Ashton Crow here says, gorgeous ship models with clear design differences really place the viewer in the setting. Very much so, Ashton Crow.
Agree.
Yes.
Definitely agree.
All right. Move on to the next question. Here we talk about actors and actors. I don't like saying actress unless they're pretty old, and that's the term they prefer. There's a certain age at which, above that age, they all seem to be actresses. Below that age, they're all actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like,
gotcha.
I never know which with who. But we've got some actors here. I usually have 3 people that I like to mention, but I rarely go over that. You guys, let's start with you, Beth.
I mean, you guys know who I'm going to say. You guys know who I'm going to say. I've already mentioned them 42 times. Kara G, however you pronounce her last name.
Let me find the picture.
Literally perfection.
There it is.
She,
I love
my
that shot of
God,
her.
She's so severe, and just and the other thing is, she is steadfast. She's like, I have worked for Anderson Dawes. She is she knows what she's getting into. She has such a moral code, and they based a video game on this character because she was so good in The Expanse. There's an entire video game that you can play as Kamina Drummer. It's a Telltale game. It's called The Expanse, a Telltale game. It's a prequel before she comes, but when she's a XO on a ship for the OPA, she is mwah, 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 mwah. And please, Rafe Judkins, if by some chance you see this, and you have not cast anybody as a Guianan yet in the Wheel of Time, I am begging you to cast this woman as a Guianan, because please, thank you. I love you. Bye. Sorry. This is my plaintiff call.
That works.
My plaintiff call. So.
How about you, Mitch? Who did you have?
It's because it's very much a Melba episode.
Oh yeah, she's so
I'm going to give Nadine Nicole my vote this week. I mean, there's nothing outstanding about her. It's just that she is so consistent and she seems to really represent that character so well. I mean, she does.
Do you have
her argument with her sister
you,
was good, but I just thought she did a consistently nice job throughout.
I agree.
This episode.
Do you have a sympathy? Do you have a sympathy at this point on the show for Melba / Clarissa that you do at this point in the book? I mean, because you already knew she's got really bad stuff planned and she's done bad stuff, and we've watched her kill somebody. Do you sympathize at all with her?
I never have. I never have myself. No.
Okay.
I don't ever like her until after
Peaches.
Events. Yeah, until Peaches. Honestly, to be fair, I don't have, because her motivation is 100% selfish. Is absolutely, and as a matter of fact, because I'm just listening right now to the book, and in the part in the book where I am, is she has just made her way over to the Rocinante, and Anna followed her and incapacitated her with that stun gun. So she makes a comment about the protomolecule could have been revolutionary and her father's plans were thwarted, basically. Like, she's like, you could have changed the world,
I think she's
and now
insane.
you're just rotting in a prison. Like, she just basically, and this is the thing though, like, she was always the least favorite child. She was always the cast out one because she's younger than Julie. She has 2 twin siblings. Then she has a brother who's very successful in his own right. So she's kind of always been like the cast off child,
and the one who wants daddy's affection the most.
Wants daddy's affection more than anything. And she is mad at her family because they're just kind of like, they've gone on living their own lives. Like, her mom's living in a commune somewhere on Luna, and her brother's running his own successful company that has nothing to do with his dad. Her other 2 surviving siblings are twins. They have each other. She's always kind of been like this outcast, and she's taken on this mission. Like, she feels like she's obligated to cleanse her family name, and that might be a great motivation, but her plans for doing it are totally misguided. And I don't have any sympathy for somebody like that she's not a likable character, deliberately not a likable character. But as we know, going into,
maybe sympathy was the wrong word to look for it. Like, understanding of why she's doing what she's doing, even if you don't agree with.
Totally misplaced loyalty, in my opinion. Her dad was an absolute maniacal megalomaniac who is where he actually deserves to be in the ground, in my opinion. But she redeems herself. She does have a very good redemption arc, which I respect.
Because that's one of the biggest themes in the series in general, is redemption.
It's never too late to do the right thing. Does that mitigate the harm that you've already inflicted on other people? No. But it's never too late to do the right thing, and she does the right thing ultimately. So I have some respect for her character for doing the right thing, but I don't like her. I don't like her at all.
Well, I mean, the argument can be made that she literally saved all of humanity at the end of this book.
After literally almost crippling all of humanity.
Yeah.
I
mean, she's. I have little sympathy for her because
I have understanding.
Even within the context of just the show, you don't need to know about her background that we know of in the books. She's done horrible things. I mean, look what she did to Ren. Within the books, what she does to Ren is even more horrid.
And that's the thing. That's the action she regrets the most.
Right.
Yeah. And what's good for her, but I've got no sympathy for her personally.
Honestly, it's the one she regrets.
Like I said, sympathy was the wrong word to use.
No, I think it was the right. It's the right word.
Okay.
How do you
understanding?
Feel
about I think I don't agree with what she's doing, but I understand why her brain is telling her this is what you need to do.
Oh, I understand why she's doing it. I have no sympathy for her.
And like I said, that's why I said using the word sympathy was, my wrong choice on my part of words. So,
Yeah.
Did you have any other actors you wanted to bring up after Nicole? Nadine Nicole?
I really like the Tilly character. I really do.
Tilly.
Yeah, she's a kick in the slats.
Where is she? There's Tilly.
There she is. Yeah. She's just a kick in the slats. She actually helps the story along very nicely for a few episodes here, and I like the way they put that character together, and I like the way the actress is portraying her.
Yeah. I believe it's Janelle Williams or something like that. I'm not sure her last name.
Yeah, Janelle Williams.
It could be. I knew it was Janelle something. And the actors I went with, well, two of them have already been brought up. My number 2 spot. Well, we'll start with my number 3. My number 3 spot, Mitch took. That's Nadine Nicole as Melba / Clarissa. I think she's doing a great job consistently. Agree. Then Beth took my number 2 spot with Kara G as Kamina Drummer. So that leaves me with my number 1 spot, and I think we might have to agree to make a rule on this show when he's in an episode. It's kind of like when Shori Agdashlu is in an episode. She's already instead of first place, she's 0th place because David Strathairn.
Oh my God!
Yes, David Strathairn is just. First of all, he should have been cast as Tom Maryland.
Oh my God! I'm dead right now. Yes.
And it's not just because of that mustache he has on the show. It's just
everything about him.
I've seen David Strathairn in enough stuff now. The man is a genius.
Can he sing?
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if he can. But
God,
David Strathairn as Clace Ashford. I really am enjoying Ashford. Reading him in the book, he's a very, very different. He
really is. Yes, he really is.
Who is not mentally sound, I don't think, or at least after the events of, after the events of the catastrophe, I think his brain broke. And he just went overboard as cuckoo. And I'm really torn on whether I like to have the changes to get Ashford, because I really did enjoy hating Ashford in the book. But here, I'm loving him. Oh, Norman Garden he does a little singing on the show. Well, yeah,
he does a little singing when he's singing a lullaby to his daughter in the little video footage that they have together. Yeah.
And when he and
when they're singing trapped. When they're trapped together after it's in the next episode, I think, right? Or episode 11?
2 episodes.
10 or 11?
The catastrophe happens at the end of next episode.
At episode 10. Yep.
And next episode's done with Shang-Chi. I don't know if many people out there realize that the MCU actor who plays Shang-Chi is in this next episode. Plays a Martian Marine. Plays the lieutenant. Yep.
Are you talking
Bobby's
about
lieutenant? The actor who played Shang-Chi in Marvel Cinematic Universe?
You are so freaking right. Oh, I just had an...
Yeah, I think Simu Liu.
Simu Liu, yes. Yeah. Oh my God.
He plays the Marine lieutenant that Bobby's with.
It literally just mind.
Got your brain mat all over me now.
You did. Sorry, guys.
And that's a callback to last week's episode when one of the lines that I really latched onto from last episode was when Holden said something occurred to Holden. And he told Monica she had to go, and she's like, "No, your brain just exploded. I've got brain matter all over me." Yeah. Because she had to find out what just happened. What did he realize? All right, so actors. Yeah, I ended up going with David Strathairn. Did you have anybody else that needs a shout out? But you didn't want to put them as like the Oscar winner, Emmy winner.
I mean, just the normal crew and the normal
Yeah.
cast. They're
Yeah.
just always so on point, honestly. And I do love the actress who plays Anna. I do think that she just Elizabeth, what's her last name?
Mitchell.
I almost
Mitchell.
said Bennett, like from Pride and Prejudice. No, I do think that she does just a great job. Her range is so good. Like I said before, the conflict that she has between her drive to want to be one of the first to experience it, plus her guilt for abandoning her family, possibly, plus, you know, I just a solid actress, and I liked her in several things that she's done. She's just a really, really, really great, well-rounded character actress. So, yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll move on to what some say is my favorite. I think it is. It is sometimes the meatiest category because we sometimes go on for a long time. But themes. What were some themes that stood out to you? And I always go last so I don't steal anybody's. I'll let Mitch go if he got picked up on any this week.
I have no themes. Oftentimes, themes are based or indicated by the title of the show, and in this case, nah, got nothing.
No,
I'm an idiot.
Right.
What can I say?
That's fine. We're all an idiot at times. How about you, Beth?
I think the themes that are prevalent in this episode are community, family, and belief and faith. I think those are probably the largest underlying themes in this. You don't have to choose who your family is. Like you've got the Rosie where they've chosen to become family. Naomi makes the decision to go back to her family. She was a member of a community and she chose her adopted family over her community. You've got Anna who has made a family and is making the decision to leave her family or take a possible step away from her family for personal ambition in the search of what's out there. What is my faith? What does this mean? I think they're all very compelling themes. But I think the family and community theme is kind of just like, it's overarching through this entire series.
Yeah.
It's not just specific to this one specific episode, but
there are a number of themes that go through it all.
But I do think that the Naomi's decision, she's a belter. She believes in what the belters are doing and in their position, but she's decided to go back to these two Earthers and this Martian because they're her family. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things. And Melba Coe, Clarissa Mao, is doing this for her family. I think that's probably one of the most,
I picked up on family. The way I put it down is I've got it as love for family / crew, which, for a lot of these people, the crew is their family.
Crew is your family. Yeah. Yeah.
But I've got it with Father Cortez. I think that was who his name was, the one who wanted to stay on the ship and then it got scared and left. He said, "I've got a family." He's got a kid, a son. Yep. Naomi's love for the Rossi crew, as well as for Drummer, and Drummer's love for Naomi. They see each other. I'm guessing sisters might be the term that they would use. If they ended up Wheel of Time fans, they'd probably be calling each other first sisters.
Let's go. I'm here for it.
Anna, as you brought up, and Clarissa. Jules Pierre Mao has love for family, but mostly himself in the family. Julie is his favorite. That is pretty clear that Julie's his favorite. So he probably does have love for her, but it's that sick kind of love that it isn't really fulfilled unless he's in control.
Correct. He's a narcissist. Right.
Yeah.
The other theme, and it's a two-sided, is betrayal and trust, which that's one that's in a lot of these episodes on this show. There's a lot of examples, but the two I wrote down that I'm thinking of at the moment was Naomi deserting or trying to desert is kind of a betrayal. Well, it's not kind of. It definitely is a betrayal of
is.
the drummer.
Sure.
And at the same time, we've got somebody who's putting trust in Miller. Holden's putting trust in this Miller ghost. It's kind of gotten him out of one scrap already. It's great. So see if it fixes, gets him out of this problem. And that was about it that I had written down for themes. I don't remember. I'm blanking on the other trust and betrayal at the moment, but I didn't write it down. Anybody have any other notes that they want? Anything in their notes that they wanted to bring up?
I have one real quickie. I brought it up earlier when the priest Hector Cortez is talking to Anna, and she's telling him he can stay, and he giving her all kinds of excuses. It's punctuated by the fact that one crewman is lined up to get on the shuttle to get off the ship, and he's confronted by his fellow crewmen. And that was just sort of the sting that really gave Father Cohen,
the officer who had him arrested. The officer who has him arrested is the one that talks to Anna next week, and then goes back and has the mishap with his gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I have I forgot all about that. I'm confused because the guy they arrested, they called him ensign, and then said you're a Marine. Did the UNN Marines use ensigns now? That seems
Marines are actually part of the Navy in the United States.
But they use in the U.S. Marines, though, they use basically Army ranks, or
they use second lieutenant.
They use ground pounder,
captain.
Ground pounder ranks.
Yep.
So that always confused me.
There's a little bit of a technicality there.
Yeah. The last thing I have on my notes, and it's the dumbest thing. Maybe I should
we like dumb things.
Maybe I should put the banner back up. Let me see. Glenn pedantism here. I just want to ask, what's your name? Melba / Clarissa. What the fuck, girl? What's this message? You're leaving a message on the dead guy's thing so his wife and kid find it, and they're gonna actually try to get a message from that to the most notorious and hated man in the freaking solar system, to Jules Pierre Mao. Nobody wants to get a message of Jules Pierre Mao. What the fuck are you thinking, girl? Okay, I'm done.
All right, nicely done.
I'm here for it. That's awesome.
I didn't know what that message was, what she was thinking. I mean, she's been pretty delusional on a lot of other stuff, but she seems to have thought what she's doing through without any question in regard to morals. Here, she's just not thinking this through at all.
Well, she's what's the word I'm looking for? She's devolving. She's devolving right now. Right? Like that's not the word I'm looking of. It's like what happens when a criminal starts falling apart, unraveling. She's unraveling. She's the was she implant? She could have been. Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's the thing though. She has this master plan that she's going to do this to redeem her family. But again, it goes back to the fact, if she has redeemable qualities, which we know she does, you can't, unless you are a sociopathic narcissist or somebody like Amos who doesn't really have a conscience, right? You can't live with the guilt of what you've done for a long time. So eventually people unravel, and that's what's happening to her. Literally, she is fixated on ruining Holden's life and everything that he values, because she feels he personally took away everything that she was associated with. And so she's being very irrational. She's making decisions to that are not along. She very thoughtfully planned this out. I mean, this was meticulously planned for years at this point, right? And now all of these things are happening like
crazy shit.
Exactly. And so
she just wanted to get credit for it. She wanted the people.
That's why she left this message.
She left the message because I want credit for having done this. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
She's just, as you said, she's a narcissist and she's crazy. She is
definitely delusional at this point.
Yeah. Daddy, I did this for you.
And unfortunately,
she's seeking that approval. She's seeking that approval from an absent parent.
Exactly.
Yep.
We'll see if, they earn her change, her turnabout at the end of the season in a few weeks here.
Yep.
This is episode 9. We got 3 more sessions to go. Beth, thank you for coming on tonight. It has been an absolute pleasure to chat with you. I hope you stick around after the show and we hang out in the back, backstage for a bit too. So don't run away.
I can for a little while. Thank you.
Okay. Mitch, always good having you back. And this has been a lot of fun talking The Expanse with you all season. I hope you'll come back when we do season 4, 5, and 6. We'll see how that goes. Thank you guys. Thank you guys at home for watching. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and leave us some comments. If I was wrong on something, tell me where I was wrong. I want to hear it.
Yeah,
so thanks for watching. Come back next week, and don't forget to be us.
Bye.